Welcome to episode 3 of Sports Talk with BT and Stuvie.
Season 2, episode
What?
3.
Season 2, episode 3. Sorry.
Don't get the viewers confused, buddy.
Oh, they're so confused.
If you want to say
right
episode, you can say episode 41 because it's episode 41.
Episode 41, aka
Season 2, episode 3. I don't know why I said 4, but it's 3.
that's next week, buddy. All right. Well, it's a busy week for college football. Busy week, opening week for NFL. We got a jam-packed episode tonight.
Yep. Yes, we do.
We could be here a long time if we don't get started right. We're gonna get started right now.
Yeah, we're trying to watch the debate.
All right. So with college football for week 2, we're talking about the first game of the day. I guess that was the first game to finish out. Texas
Are
versus
you gonna
Michigan.
do the share screen so we can look at the stats and stuff of the game?
I'm not ready for it, but hold on.
Come on.
We can.
Let's do our daily amateur hour.
Sorry. Okay, it's just
we just have to. We have to at this point. But yeah, we got a jam-packed episode. First, we're gonna start off with our week 2 recaps. Texas and Michigan, Oregon and Boise State. We got Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma State and Arkansas.
Okay. We're gonna share my screen. It's just okay. Whatever. All right.
There we go.
Texas Longhorns beat Michigan 31-12.
We kind of predicted this.
We did. I guess I really did last week. You weren't really here.
Yeah, Michigan is overrated. Texas is good.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Well, no, I think Texas. I don't think Texas is really that good. They just beat up on it. I think this Michigan team is very terrible.
It doesn't help that their quarterback is a fucking walk-on.
Davis Warren, shout him out. But Quinn Ewers kind of put himself at the front of the Heisman.
Some would say.
I mean, yeah, some would say. I've seen some of this where he's at the front of the Heisman now with that performance.
But we'll get into that later, BT. We got our Heisman top 3.
Yes,
later.
But
so
the one thing that concerns me about this Texas team is when a wide receiver is your leading rusher with 55 yards.
Yeah.
And and they had another running back get hurt, so that's 3 of their 4 scholarship running backs are hurt. I don't know how serious that injury ended up being.
Their leading rusher doesn't even have a fucking scan.
Yeah.
And that's a box
freshman wide receiver. Yes, I can't go to the box.
Go to the box score so we can see.
Donovan Edwards, I think, he is the athlete that has the cover athlete curse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I don't see what's so special about him personally.
And
I mean, Quinn Ewers, having a good season. Travis Hunter having a good season.
But Gunnar Helm, the tight end, I believe he is a tight end for Texas. And the tight end for Michigan,
probably Isaiah Bond's really good.
Yes, but the
Colston Loveland could be a first round pick this year.
2 of the top tight ends can play in this game for the draft next year.
Yeah, and then not to mention Michigan's defensive lineman. What's his name? Go scroll down.
What is his name? I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, it's Derek Moore is one of them.
Yeah, number
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham could be another.
This Michigan defense can only win them so many games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it showed here.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, Texas is playing good football. BT.
They are. I hate.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they are when it comes to.
I'm just gonna pull up the stats on my
SEC
phone.
game. So
it's so hard to control on the laptop. I don't have my PC set up yet.
Come on, man.
Can you pull it up on your phone?
Yeah. Which game we going to?
What's next? Let's just go Arkansas, Oklahoma State next.
Okay.
So Arkansas double overtime game, probably the best game of the day, in honest opinion.
One of the best games. I'd say one of the best games.
Okay, one of the best games. It was entertaining to watch. Arkansas
Yeah.
had a big lead early. I think they
Mhm.
went up 21-0, I believe.
Yeah. So
All right, I got a question, Stu. If I told you that Arkansas had 648 yards total offense and Oklahoma State had 385, what would you believe if you didn't know what the final score was?
I'd say Arkansas won.
And they won pretty dominantly, right?
Yeah.
Oklahoma State wins in double overtime.
Mhm.
Just I was so high. I think I was going to predict this upset. I really thought
Mhm.
Arkansas could, but
Well, and you know the interesting part of the interesting part about this game, Ollie Gordon,
yeah,
dude, got shut down.
he did.
He averaged 2.9 yards per carry,
That's because he's playing
49.
an SEC defense.
Yeah.
Big 12 offenses don't play SEC
Hmm.
defenses, and when they
And
do,
then
look what
you
happens.
look at Arkansas's running back, Jaquindon Jackson, with 24
I
carries,
mentioned him. I mentioned him
149 yards, and
last
3
week.
touchdowns.
And we just completely forgetting about Taylor Green with 416 yards passing too.
The former Boise State
Yes, the
Bronco?
former Boise State Bronco, which
Yeah,
I
I
said I
mean,
was very high on when I was previewing
yeah.
Arkansas last
And
season.
then, Andrew Armstrong had a hell of a game. 10, 10 catches for 164 yards, and I'm pretty sure
Man,
this was his first game of the season.
the first overtime. But did you watch this game?
No.
The first overtime is crazy. So Arkansas gets stopped on like 4th and 2. They kick a field goal, miss it. Oklahoma
Hmm.
State gets held 4th down,
Oh,
misses
and they
their
missed it.
kick,
Yeah.
and then I think Arkansas got clamped on 4th and 1 on double overtime at like the 5-yard line.
Guess
I
how many
believe.
tackles Oklahoma State's leading tackler had?
How much?
17. And then their second leading tackler had 16.
And I guess there is one major injury update about this game.
Hmm.
Oklahoma State is now they lose Nick Martin, I think. Nick Martin.
Oh, their second leading tackler who had 4.5 tackles for loss.
Is that Nick? I don't remember who they lost.
Is it a
Uh,
linebacker?
no, Colin Oliver. Colin Oliver is out for the season for Oklahoma State with a leg injury, I believe. It's either Colin Oliver, which is a very big loss for the Oklahoma State.
I mean, yeah, he had 2 tackles last year. He's had 73 total tackles, 6 sacks, 5 pass deflections. So definitely a big loss for them. And he's a senior,
Yes,
so
yes.
he might be able to get medical
Yeah,
redshirt.
medical redshirt. All right, that'll move us on to our next game. I guess out of this list, it would be Northern Illinois and Notre Dame.
How about them Huskies?
Oh my god! I just went and glazed up Notre Dame last week, saying, "Oh, they finally look like they can finally get over the hump and make it." And then they pull out and fucking piss all over it themselves in front of touchdown Jesus.
Yep.
What were they thinking with the 62-yard field goal attempt? Like, your chances are better to throw
Air
a
it
Hail
out.
Mary.
Yeah.
I didn't know Riley Leonard was hurt, but he is still playing.
Yeah. I
Just tore
mean,
something in
shout
his
out
shoulder.
to fucking Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Shout
They
out to
came to
that
play.
coach.
It's their first time being ranked. They're ranked now. It's their first time being ranked
Yes.
since 2013, I believe.
That's the biggest win in program history.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, to be fair, like BT and I both said, the week before college football, Notre Dame,
Always overrated.
yeah, overrated, and
And
they
then
still have a tough ass schedule. So I don't think
I
they're going to
think
make
that
the
they're done.
playoffs.
They're
Yeah,
done.
I
They're
think
done with
they're
the playoffs.
eliminated. Because I'm just looking at some of the teams they play. Purdue, who could be like a dark horse team. Miami of
Hey,
Ohio, Louisville, who's ranked, Georgia Tech, who is stunning the nation. Florida
well,
State,
they
you
just
never
got
know.
beat.
Fucking DJ
I heard
Uiagalelei.
Purdy starting.
What?
I heard Chuba Purdy might be starting for them.
Oh, really? Because Chuba Purdy plays for Nevada.
Oh, never mind. My bad.
Damn, buddy just got
I
outed
saw
on
Twitter.
live
I
stream.
saw it on Twitter. My
And
bad.
then they
Buddy.
play USC the last game of the year. So like they have a tough schedule, BT.
I'm never trusting Florida State fans on Twitter again.
Yeah, Chuba Purdy plays for the Nevada.
Hey, guess who was the lead? Anyways, let's talk about Notre Dame. Guess who was their lead receiver for Northern Illinois?
Who?
Ontario Brown.
Cousin?
I don't know.
Huh?
I just thought that was funny. I saw A Brown, and he's from a Mac school, and he's a senior.
Ontario
He
Brown.
had two. He had 2 receptions for 126 yards. He had one miracle catch. But this game did not have any offense. It really showed Notre Dame does not have any offensive weapons or elite defense. No offense. I'll be talking about one of those teams again
He
a
used to be
couple
a
games
running
from now.
back.
Oh, I will be talking about one of those teams here shortly about that has all defense, no offense. We'll get into it.
Dude, it's just crazy because, like, Northern
Okay.
Illinois, out of all the teams, that's just wild.
All right.
Shout out
So
to the
now,
Huskies, man. Like, amazing win. Yeah, and they play Buffalo this week, so hopefully they don't shit the bed. So
now let's talk about the beatdown, the one beatdown this week.
the
I guess it
one,
wasn't really necessarily a beatdown. Nebraska, Colorado.
it was a
Um,
beatdown. It was a
it was
beatdown.
it was a beatdown.
Nebraska came to fucking play.
They did. That environment was electric.
Yeah.
Um,
I personally watched the majority of this game. So one, Nebraska is pretty well balanced on offense. Their running back, what's his name? Dante Doddle.
yeah,
Like he
Donald,
he he's a good player. Raiola did what
no
he
doubt.
needed to. Um, and Nebraska's defense just stepped up.
Yeah, but what I will say, I need to see him do it. Colorado is not a good team. I don't think they might not win another game this season.
I definitely think they'll win another game this season.
I personally think Colorado State will beat them next week or this
Mm,
week.
I don't think so. But some stats to look at: Shedeur Sanders 23 for 38, 244 yards, a touchdown, and interception. That interception ended up being a pick six, which that pick six was awesome to watch. Like I said earlier,
Got that
Travis
place
Hunter.
jumping. I said that game was over right when that pick six happened.
hmm
It was over right then and there.
Well, I mean, you saw like the camera went to Shedeur Sanders, and he just looked like, wow, this is really happening right now.
Speaking of Shedeur Sanders, what was your reaction to him
Outing his
walking off
offensive lineman.
walking off the field with before the game's even over?
Um, I can kind of understand him walking out just to get because he took a shit ton of hits and he got leveled on his last hit. So I mean, I guess it'd be important, but it kind of looks shady. You know what I mean? Kind of looks sus.
Yeah,
And so it can go either way. Him outing his offensive lineman is just unacceptable. It's so stupid, dude.
I don't even know how he's considered. He has so many characteristics. I don't even know how he's considered to be a first round pick in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like talent wise, he's there. Would you agree?
Yeah, but
But he has character issues.
yes,
And how and and I was talking to my friends about this yesterday in my class. I was like, he's entitled. You can tell he grew up, get everything given to him. Like he earned all of his scholarships and stuff, right? But he, his daddy gave him everything, and you can definitely tell that's the way it is now. And
that
yeah,
whole fan was just. I don't think
I
Deion
like
Sanders.
I like Shedeur Sanders. Don't get me wrong, but yes, the character issues are gonna come back and bite him.
And one last word on Colorado. Deion Sanders isn't going to be the head coach next year. I'm willing to put money on it.
I don't know. I think they'll give him another year after this.
You know how bad that's.
Just because of the amount of money they generate off of his name.
What they're not going to win a game next year. They won't have Travis Hunter. They won't have. They
Yeah,
won't
but you
have.
also got to think they have a lot of 5 stars on their team. Depending on how his recruiting goes this year. So
I think he bolts to the NFL, but
I don't think he's gonna be able to get a fucking job unless it's like a coordinator position. Because ain't no way like I'm hiring him as a head coach if he
what would
can't
you do? What would
fucking.
you do if the Steelers, if Mike Tomlin retired and the Steelers hired him?
Mike Tomlin's not gonna retire. We just signed him to an extension.
You never know. Never know.
That'd
All
be
right,
very disappointed. So,
all right. Last game we're gonna recap here. Um, Boise State, Oregon. Oregon survives once again by the skin of their teeth.
all right. So 2 takeaways.
Oregon, not a contender anymore. I don't think they're gonna win the championship.
No, they're overrated, madly overrated. I guess it's 3. So 3 takeaways. Oregon's overrated. Boise State is, a good team, but they lost because of their special teams.
Yep. But looking at the rest of their schedule,
Oh yeah.
very manageable.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
A one
but
game
like,
to watch
but
would
like, you
be
gotta think, if Boise State beats Oregon and wins out, loses the championship game, are they still in?
no, not in the world. You need to be.
But Boise didn't they looked so good, BT,
They
except their
did.
special teams.
I think one game to look out for
The
the
Oregon
rest
State.
of Boise State's schedule. They do play. They do play UNLV.
Hmm.
I think. I don't know how they do.
That's
I
a
don't know if they
rivalry
do.
game, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if they do divisions in the Mountain West. That is a game to watch. That's
Hmm.
probably the 2 best teams in the Mountain West facing off against each other.
Yeah.
We'll get into UNLV later, but
Don't overlook Oregon State either. So
I guess I didn't scroll down far enough.
yeah, they play Oregon
They're
State.
playing that on Black Friday. Oh my god! Oh, how
But
the mighty have
and
fallen.
another thing I want to say, Ashton Genty,
I don't.
Heisman contender.
He's a contender. I don't know if they'll give it to him though.
I don't know if they're gonna give it to him either. But like, let me tell you, he is so fun to watch.
Yes, he has to have crazy stats, and for my opinion, for them to give it to him.
Well, I mean, look what he's doing. Look what he's
Yes,
doing.
because there's the argument. All that argument that's always going to be against him is, look who you played against.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's fair, but I also think there's some truth in there too.
But like, dude, he's playing so good. Like, he's so fun to watch.
It was another really decent game for Dylan Gabriel. Only incompleted 3 passes, 243 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What did I say? He did this at Oklahoma. I said this last week. He did this at Oklahoma all the time and won close games. He puts up stats that makes it think it wasn't a close game, but it turns out it was a close game and you escaped by the.
He also made a
Skin
lot
your
of
teeth.
like mistakes. Dylan Gabriel had a fumble. So did Patrick
Yeah.
Herbert. Shout out Patrick Herbert, Justin Herbert's brother.
Oh God.
Yeah. the
Hey,
dude's
is
been
Oregon
called.
on upset? Is Oregon on upset alert next week?
Dude,
Or this week?
I was very, very tempted to put Oregon State over them.
Honestly,
but,
that's a 16, but they are a 16-point underdog. So
yeah. But yeah, looking at the schedule, like Oregon has to play in Ohio State, Purdue, Michigan.
it looks they do have a couple of beat up games before the Ohio State game to maybe get it
But
right.
I'm just saying, like, if they're struggling against Boise State, they're gonna struggle in the
Yeah.
Big Ten.
Yes. It looks like I'm not oh God. Anyways, Steve, you want to talk about your favorite team first? I really don't want to talk about mine.
I'll talk about the Cyclones. BT.
Yep.
It's a Cyclone State, baby.
It is.
Yes,
For the first time
sir.
in
Dude, this game
2
was
years.
so like not good for my health. I aged like 3 years just because of this game. So it was a typical Cyhawk game, very close. I told you it was gonna be close, but I said Iowa would win. But in my locks of the week, I had Iowa State upsetting. Some takeaways. So I said I've been telling BT this. I've been texting. I was like, yeah, Iowa State's pass defense is good, right? Like we did good, especially in the second half. But our run defense needs to fucking step it up,
Yeah,
and that's what
Caleb
we struggled
Johnson.
with. Yeah, Caleb Johnson, 25 carries, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging 7.5.
Luckily, it doesn't really look like he playing elite running back until Kansas.
Yeah, I'll get to Kansas in a little bit too.
Oh God.
But like we contain Caden McNamara. Iowa's defense, solid defense. Okay, we struggled offensively in the first half. We were atrocious offensively in the first half. That that interception Rocco back there was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like, I said, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck?"
I
Because he
said
threw it.
that was not elite ball placement.
Yeah, and it was just bad, dude. But he got things going in the second half. Um, it was much better in the second half. Our run game kind of struggled a little bit, but the emergence of Eastern Michigan transfer Jalen Jackson was very nice to see. He had 5 carries for 26 yards. Not that many carries compared to Abu, who had 17. But you give Jalen Jackson, 17 carries. He has 78 yards right there. Um, so I was I was all right with that. But dude, our receivers, the big two receivers, Jalen Knoll and Jaden Higgins, amazing games. Jalen Knoll with 5 catches, 133 yards, including that 75-yard touchdown pass he got from Rocco, and that amazing route running catch that he had with nearing the end of the game. Jaden Higgins got that touchdown in the end zone. That was he kind of mossed the dude. And then our tight ends, 2 catches for Steve-O and 2 catches for Brahmer. Jalen Knoll has solidified himself as a Iowa State Mount Rushmore receiver, in my opinion. Not just because he's had a good game like against Iowa, but just statistically, I'd put him up there with Hakeem Butler and Alan Lazard, and maybe Todd Blythe. So I have him on my Mount Rushmore. I think he beats Xavier Hutchinson, a current Texan, BT, your boy. But yeah, just amazing game. And then our defense, dude. So the emergence of Darian Porter, our senior, 2 interceptions, including that unbelievable athletic interception that he had to change the momentum of the game.
Terrible throw by Cade McNamara, by the
Yeah.
way.
But you have to say that was an athletic
It
fucking
wasn't
play.
athletic, but that was a terrible
Yeah.
read. Why would you ever
Mhm.
throw that fucking
Yep.
ball?
Yeah, our defensive line, just especially on goal line, we just stepped up and stopped them. Hopefully Jack Sadowski is better. He got injured during the game. Shut up, BT. I know what you're gonna say.
On special teams.
Yep, on special teams. And then BT. Let's talk about the fucking freshman kicker who
Oh god.
won the game.
Must be
Kyle
nice to have a kicker.
Conradi. 54-yard game-winning field goal, and he's a freshman.
He also kicked another field goal before
Yep.
that.
So his first field goal attempt in his career was a 41-yarder, and he missed it to the left. It hit off the goalpost, but the laces were facing towards like his foot when he kicked it. So that's on the punter. And then his first career field goal he made a 46, and then of course the 54-yarder, which would have been good from 60, which I'm very
Yep.
excited about. So yeah, I'm ecstatic, dude. This is probably one of the better starts we've had. Yes, like the games may have not been like pretty, but we're winning games. These are the games we have to win. And if we can just keep up the momentum and kind of get our run defense going and get our offense to be consistent, I think we're gonna be a dangerous team.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Well, Oklahoma survives. I guess speaking of Iowa, Oklahoma survives, winning 16-12. We're just slowly reverted into the next Iowa Hawkeyes, all defense and no offense, apparently. I really couldn't tell you what what went wrong with this game. I just think it was the bad omen from the start. We're wearing weird uniforms.
Yeah, but you were
I
a
did. I
huge
like the
fan of.
uniforms. I like the uniforms. I love them. But every time we wear weird alternate uniforms, we always fucking suck. Think about when we wore the all red Rough Rider uniforms back in 2017 when we played Iowa State at home. I
Mhm.
remember that game. Um, I could just name every time we wear alternate uniforms and it doesn't end well. Okay.
I just like looking at the stats. It doesn't look like your offense had a good game at all.
Yeah. I'm getting into that. Okay, offensively terrible. I'm gonna end on a good note. So I'm gonna talk about the terrible offense first. We don't have an identity on offense. We don't know if we want to be a hurry up offense. We don't know if we want to be a slow run it down your throats offense.
Mm-hmm.
We have not determined that yet. Part of that is because we are still down 3 starters on the offensive line. In this game, we did not have wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, all out with injuries. I can't put the blame on Arnold there because it's not really his fault that 3 starting offensive linemen and 4 receivers are out. Of course, you're going to put up terrible stats, and your running game, of course, can't get going. Just got to get guys healthy, inevitably. I think that's what the problem is. It was just a bad omen when our marching band went out on the field. The state of Oklahoma flag got tangled up and it didn't get fully out. Another bad omen for the game. And then another bad omen. We're in the fucking SEC and it's at home. Why the fuck do we have Big 12 refs reffing our game when we're playing a Big 12 opponent? In what world is that fair?
I'm not even gonna don't bring that up. You guys play shit. Don't.
Well,
Plus, here's the thing. Like,
I'm not really complaining about that. There was just one call that kind of pissed me off. It was it was a one-handed interception by our guy. Didn't even both guys were fighting for the ball. The defensive back was looking back. The wide receiver was not. Our guy leaps up, grabs it with one hand, and then they call PI on our guy, even though the wide receiver wasn't looking back.
all I'm gonna say is your defense won you this game 100%.
Like I said,
especially in that last drive where you got a safety. Like,
yes, that was a beautiful pass rush by the SEC defensive lineman of the week, Grayson Halton. Perfect pass rush. Then missed assignments on the offensive line. Runs right through, gets the safety. Essentially wins us the game. And then another thing about the offense, one of the most retarded penalties I've ever seen at the end of that game.
Buddy, we can't be using that word.
I don't care. That's what it was. It was fucking stupid.
Yeah, well,
our third string center with 30 seconds left, we were draining the play clock. 30 seconds left. We would have had to punt it to them with 8. We would have had to punt with 8 seconds left on the clock. That essentially ends the game. But our dumbass third string center decides to take off his helmet and get a 15-yard personal foul, which I think, whatever. It's retarded. Stops the clock at 35, and our defense has to go win the game. I don't know what was wrong with this team. They were not woke up. Players were hurt, but our punt returners couldn't even catch a ball. They were diving on their back like they're catching a fly ball. I hope it was just a bad omen. I want to give a shout out to Danny Stutzman. 15 tackles in that game. Played amazing. 1 tackle for loss. He also had a few missed tackles that were really bad.
You guys have to get your shit together, dude.
We just have to get healthy. I think that's a problem. We have to get healthy. We're already down. I think it's just 1 offensive lineman's out for the season and 2 wide receivers are out for the season. We got to get those other guys that are hurt right now. Got to get them back before 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it doesn't get any easier this week. That was one of the worst opponents, and maybe it's just a bad omen. We can rebound next week in the heat. I'm really proud of the defense. We have a defense, Sue. It's like I called upon a genie. I wish we have an elite defense. And the genie puts his finger down and says, "All right." And then now look what happens to our fucking off. It's like completely reversed of what Oklahoma used to be.
Yeah, and you got another tough game next week with Tulane.
I guess that'll move us on to our preview of all this preview of favorite teams now. Iowa State does not play. They get a bye week this week.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we got a bye week this week.
You need it. You need it. Buddy.
Yes. Yeah. So now we play Tulane, who I will say also Houston's coach plays us close every time we play him. When he was at Tulane, when he was at Houston, he always plays it close for some reason. We're a Super Bowl, whatever. Now we play Tulane, who's led by a really good coach, John Sumrall. I'm not gonna say They lost in a heartbreaker to Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
We're 14-point favorites. I don't even know if our offense can score 14 points. But the way it sounds, we're not. I don't know if we're going to get anybody back for this game. I hope we get somebody back. I just think with the offense for this game, just completely get rid of RPOs. Jackson Arnold is struggling with RPOs. I understand it's his third start. You can implement it later. Just if you need to run play action, run play action. It's not that difficult to run play action.
Could you see yourself losing this game?
If we play like we played last week, yeah.
Plus, Tulane isn't a bad team, you know?
Yes, if we play like we played last week, we will lose this game. Then I will come and say, I told you so. But personally, I think that was kind of just a fluke. Weird day, weird game. And I think we'll bounce back. I think the offense will have a big day. I think Nick Anderson will be back. And we're kind of getting formidable back on the
Didn't you
offensive
lose an
line.
offensive lineman?
Yes, but he hasn't even played all year yet. So,
yeah, just rough, you know?
Yeah. Well, the injury bug sucks. And I have a feeling we're going to waste an elite defense. And I really hope you turn it around, because if you don't turn it around and you lose to Tulane, I'm going to say harsh things about the next week game after that, because that will be ugly at home in Norman against Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
Are you guys gonna spray paint their their logo on your field again?
Well, that was because the hurricane.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they are going through another fucking hurricane. So let's just have another parallel to that one awful game. New Orleans is having another goddamn hurricane.
Yeah, but yeah, Tulane
just a rough college football week for me.
Mm-hmm. Off to a rough start for you guys.
Even though we're 2-0, so Stevie's like, "Geez, Stevie's like, I've seen Iowa State play worse, and you're complaining about a 2-0 start."
Yeah,
but to be fair, we should have lost that Houston game. Houston lost that game themselves.
Yeah,
that was.
Mm-hmm. It's a combination of Houston's coaching and your defense that lost them the game,
which is kind of funny. But so I'd say we're gonna bounce back. I think I'm gonna have the silver lining. Our defense is gonna play elite. We're gonna clamp on Tulane. We're gonna score 4 touchdowns. And we're gonna win the game.
Gotta be optimistic.
And hopefully we get healthy, and hopefully we don't get any more injuries. Please, God, please. Yeah. So Iowa State doesn't play. That'll move us to our week 3 preview.
No.
The big games. Yep. Big games. Okay. All right. First big game, a non-conference game. This is not a conference game. Remember this,
because it was scheduled beforehand.
Yes. Arizona, Kansas State, Friday night, September 13th, 7 p.m. on Fox.
Friday the 13th.
Kansas State did not look very good.
Arizona didn't look good.
Both these teams did not look good last week. They haven't looked good in general. Battle of 2 of the most overrated teams in the Big 12.
Yeah. The only good thing I can say about Arizona is their wide receiver, McMillan.
McMillan had a good Heisman run. It lasted 1 week. And then he put up...
No, he had a good week. He had, never mind. 11 yards.
He had 11 yards against Northern Arizona. His Heisman is done.
Wow.
That is a player to watch. For Noah Fafita, this passing offense. Maybe they can light up Kansas State, but this is in Manhattan, and Kansas State's defense is pretty good, I would say.
Avery Johnson has only completed 29 passes through 2 games.
How much of that is there being vanilla and not showing anything? I don't know. I just think Kansas State's rushing defense is going to win them the game here.
I think it'll ultimately be a good game, but it's just like...
I just think the home team always prevails in the Big 12 games.
Well, plus, like, you can at least give some respect to Kansas State because they played, one of the best non-Power 5 teams in the country,
Yes, and they
whereas
didn't.
Arizona almost lost to
In-state
FCS team.
rival. It is an in-state rival, though, Stu. In-state rivalry.
Yeah, but it's an FCS team, buddy.
I don't think Arizona is the best Arizona team in the Big 12.
That's a hot take.
I mean, have you
It was crazy. I thought Arizona State was gonna be shit.
have you seen what they done?
Yeah.
Can you argue with me? Can you argue with me that Arizona State's better than them right now?
We'll just have to see. I mean,
All right, so Stewie, I think Arizona wins. I mean, not Arizona. Kansas State wins by a field goal.
by field goal. What's the money line? Kansas State's favored by 7.5. I'm just not a big fan of Anthony Johnson, dude. Like
Anthony Johnson. Who the hell is that?
Avery Johnson. God damn it! I saw A Johnson. I thought of the Anthony Johnson, a former Oregon quarterback, by the way. I'm just not a big fan of him, dude. But I'm also gonna take like home field advantage. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Kansas State will win by. I'm gonna go 10.
Let's just move to another Friday night game in the state of Kansas. Kansas UNLV. This was a lot. This was looking like a lot better of a matchup when we wrote this script last week.
Let me talk
Kansas
to you.
Kansas has since taken a loss to Illinois.
And
Terrible.
yes, that's a Big Ten team, right? But
Yes.
Kansas. Let me talk to you about Kansas.
Jalen Daniels is
Everyone
overrated.
thought, just because Jalen Daniels is healthy and, they have a good defense and their running backs returning, that they're going to be, one of the better Big 12 teams. Jalen Daniels hasn't been anything special.
Nope.
Even when they played Lindenwood, he has not played good at all this year.
His stats are 27 for 47, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Yeah. That's wild to me.
Yeah. To be fair, he is coming off multiple back. He hurt his back last year.
I get that, but still.
Yeah. Back injuries aren't to mess with, though.
I'm aware, BT. I'm aware.
Yeah, I know you are.
The media, just makes it. Shut up. I know. The media makes it seem like Jalen Daniels is, because he had a whole lot of Heisman hype coming into the season. He's not winning Heisman. He's not winning the best quarterback in the Big 12.
And Kansas is not winning this game.
Yeah.
Give me UNLV. Give me the Running Rebels.
Yes, give me UNLV. I agree with you. I like UNLV in this game.
I think UNLV right now is my favorite to get the playoff spot.
Dude, it's so funny. They used to be so shit, remember?
Yeah. I remember Iowa State went to Las Vegas that one year and played them.
Against Tate Martell.
Yep. And now they're led by a former Holy Cross quarterback, and he's balling out.
Yep. Like
he's their leading passer and their leading rusher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But more impressively about this UNLV team, their defense. I think their defense is going to clamp up on Deron Neal. They're going to clamp up on Jalen Daniels. And
you look at, I like UNLV in this game, BT. I think UNLV wins this game.
All right. I agree with you, Steve. All right. On to the next one. Alabama, Wisconsin. Alabama looked like shit last week against USF. They eventually pulled away in the end, but they still did look like shit. Wisconsin has looked like shit the last 2 weeks against South Dakota and against Western Michigan.
Yep.
I understand Wisconsin is a tough place to play.
But at the end of the day, it's Alabama.
It is Alabama. Talent always prevails. Roll Tide.
Yep, Roll Tide. I have them. I think Alabama's going to win. I think they're going to go over. I think they'll win by 20 plus.
Yeah. And honestly, the way this college football season has went, would you be surprised if Alabama gets beat?
I would. I'm gonna be honest with you.
There's been a top 10 upset every single week.
Yeah, but you look at it, right? Like Florida State got upset by Georgia Tech. It's a Power 5 team. Um, Notre Dame, who is an independent, got beat by a MAC team. And so, yeah, I
Hold
think
on, I'm
Bama.
looking at all the top. I'm looking at all the top 10 matchups to see. This is probably the most likely of all the top 10 matchups.
Yeah, but then again, you would have said differently last week when Northern Illinois came into play. So, but yeah, I
That
got
is
Alabama winning
that is
pretty
fair.
handily. Yeah. So,
Speaking of another potential top 10 upset, Boston College and Missouri as our next
dude,
game.
this is gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to this game.
It's a shitty time, 11:45 on SEC Network. What the fuck are we doing? This is a ranked matchup.
Yeah,
I understand this was not a ranked this was not projected to be anywhere near a ranked matchup at the start of
yeah,
the season when this game was
yeah.
originally scheduled.
hmm
All right,
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good game.
it is.
So for one, some things to look out for.
Can I get
Um,
into a crazy stat about Missouri?
sure.
Luther Burn is not their leading receiver
I
right
know
now.
it's what's his name?
Theo Weiss Jr., former Sooner.
Yeah, your boy, BT.
I remember he caught a pass in the Big 12
Dude,
championship game
Luther
against Iowa
Burton has
State.
been clamped this season, though.
Hey, I remember Theo Weiss because he caught one pass against Iowa State in the 2020 Big
Yeah.
12 championship.
Was it a touchdown?
No, it was just a first down that essentially ended the game.
Well, and want to know something else that's kind of crazy? Luther
What?
Burton isn't even second on his team in receiving yards.
Missouri, Missouri, Missouri,
Yeah.
Missouri.
Um.
Brady Cook has sort of been balling out, 456 yards, only one touchdown, one interception.
Yeah.
Uh,
But dude, I'm looking forward to Castellanos.
yes, the problem is with me, Missouri. Yeah, they haven't a lot of point all season, but
Mhm.
they haven't played anybody.
Yeah, they played Murray State and but
Buffalo,
Buffalo. Yeah.
and they
Um.
only won by 38 points to Buffalo.
Yeah, and like one thing, I like Boston College's defense.
I do. I think the key is just stop Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not showing Luther Burden for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot. I think Castellanos will have a big game against his defense.
Yeah.
It's just a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, like everyone, I thought Missouri was gonna have a really good season.
And I think Boston College wins this game.
I like that take. I think
Give me
I'm gonna have
Boston College.
yeah. I'm not. I think Boston College could win the
Out of
ACC.
pure craziness, give me Boston College.
Yeah,
And out of hatred for Missouri.
I like Boston College too in this game. Dino Tomlin.
Yes, sir. Mike Tomlin's son.
Yep.
The next
So yeah, I
Steelers
got
head
Boston
coach.
College.
All right, Sue. Time for your Heisman.
Heisman, yes sir. So we're just doing our top three, right?
Yep.
All right. So are we gonna? Do you want me to go from 1 to 3 or 3 to 1?
Let's go. You go 3. I go 3.
Okay.
I go 2. You go 2.
All right. So
you
my
go
third,
1.
we talked about him earlier, Ashton Genty. If he can keep on putting up these 150 plus yards, multiple touchdown games, I don't see why you can't have him in the Heisman.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, he's on a better pace this year than Ollie Gordon was last year.
Yeah.
And
And he
Ollie
only has
Gordon,
easier opponents.
yeah, and Ollie Gordon, was what, top
Mine-
5 in Heisman last year? Top
Okay.
10. So yeah, I got Ashton Genty. I really like the way he's playing. He's so fun to watch, and if Boise State can, keep on rolling with him, I don't see why not. I don't see why he can't be a Heisman contender.
My number 3, he is carrying over from week 1 for me. I'm going Cam Ward
Cam Ward.
out of Miami. I think Miami is, in my opinion, the most talented team in
Former
the ACC.
Incarnate Word quarterback.
Yes, former Washington State quarterback. He has the most talented team in the SEC. I mean ACC. Sorry, long day. I think if Miami could take care of business, handle what they need to handle,
Mm-hmm.
and don't run the ball with 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter when you're leading, I think he has a chance to win the Heisman. I have him ranked at number 3. Number 2, I have I have Ashton Jeanty from Boise State as well. I agree with you there, and we've already said enough about him. Stu, what's your number 2?
I got Carson Beck.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I used to not think Carson Beck was good, but
I
he's
think
been
he's good, but I don't know. Long term, I don't know if like Georgia quarterbacks can put up enough stats to win the Heisman.
yeah, but he's playing awesome football. He has 520
Yes.
yards and 7 touchdowns and couple rushing, like 37 rushing yards, but he's been playing good for the number 1 team in the country. And I mean, look what he did against fucking Clemson, dude. Like 23 for 33, 278 yards and 22 touchdowns. If he can keep doing that kind of stuff, I think he could be dangerous. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays against these better teams, though. I
Yeah.
mean, last year he had a good season, 24 touchdowns, 6 picks, but I think he has all the talent in the world. He has talent around him to be successful. And yeah, I have him number 2.
Here's the number 1, Stu.
Number 1 is another SEC quarterback, Jackson Dart. I have Jackson Dart. And he has been on a tear.
Because he's stat padding, because he has him in all the way to the. Because Lane Kiffin puts him in all the way to the 4th quarter against bad teams.
That don't matter.
It does. He's not going to do that against teams like Georgia and teams
You got
like
a stat pad
Oklahoma.
early, BT. Did Joe Burrow get taken out in games? Nope.
I speak from experience. Yes, he did.
That was different though. That was in the playoffs. But no, like he's been balling out of his mind. He has 795 yards, which I think is the most in college football right now. 6 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. I personally think he is the front runner right now, and if his Ole Miss Rebels can keep it up, I think he should be good. I think he'll have a good season. He doesn't really play any of the top SEC teams until LSU, and then he plays Oklahoma. So he's gonna have a tough stretch. But right now,
funny how you're calling LSU an elite team.
I'm
They
looking
almost
at
they almost lost. They almost lost to Nicholls State last week.
Teams,
Okay. They're not going to be ranked by the time they play.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, and I mentioned Oklahoma too after them. So, but yeah, like right now, he's primed to have good games. I mean, Wake Forest, Georgia Southern, Kentucky, South Carolina. So yeah, I think he's in prime position right now to win Heisman.
Well, my number 1 is Quinn Ewers. I hate to say it.
I had him at 4.
I like Quinn Ewers. From what I saw against Michigan's defense, which is elite, he did look really good. He looked like he could be, if he plays like that the rest of the year, he could be the first quarterback taken off the board in the NFL draft.
Oh, 100%. Like he was very close. Like I was really he was like my next man out. He's 4.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think he could have an amazing season.
Called out against Michigan's defense last week.
Yeah. I think he
called
really
out against Colorado State.
Yeah, but I'm not like. Yeah, I just have to see what he does in the SEC, and I guess that's
he has 2 big games, and that's really all they got from the SEC. They only got 2 big games, which is Texas and Georgia.
Yeah,
I think, and then he'll have the 6 other games to stat pad, whatever, to look really good because the teams he plays are not very good.
Yeah,
they got the lucky end of the shoe.
Yeah, I think he's a prime contender too. I think he's solidified himself as of right now.
Another name to watch, Nico Iamaleava. Nico. I'm just going to call him Nico.
Tennessee quarterback. Yeah.
Yes. He has looked pretty good through 2 weeks. He threw 2 interceptions last week, but he also gained like a lot through the ground. So if Tennessee has a season that
fucked up.
I mean, the way he's playing, he deserves to be.
Yeah. I mean,
from what they just did to NC State.
Yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's only a freshman too, which is crazy.
Yeah, no. So that is a name to watch for him. But yeah. It's time for our power rankings, Stu. Have you power rated all the Big 12 teams?
I did.
All right, well, should I go with the SEC first? Since I'll start out at number 16.
Do it.
Mississippi State. Just
Oof. Oof.
terrible beatdown against Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, former Oklahoma Sooner offensive coordinator. I wish you were back, buddy. I wish you were back. Number 15, Florida struggled against Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Only won 28-7. They have a quarterback controversy. They don't even know who their starting quarterback is.
I think they're playing both of them this week, right?
They're playing like UCF, aren't they? I think.
I'll check it out. Keep going.
All right. Then number 14, I have Kentucky, who just got beat down on SEC 230 ABC. Got beat down by South Carolina.
No, they play A&M.
They do play. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yikes. So Kentucky beat down, just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense looked terrible. Brock Vandagriff looked terrible. Number 4,
4?
Auburn. Or wait, fuck. That would be what,
13.
13, Auburn. You got beat by the woke agenda. Did you see all the Twitter stuff that's happening?
No, but whenever you
it's funny. California fans. Auburn got beat by California last week. Not good vibes in the program right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of not good vibes in the program, number 12?
Yep.
No, number 12, LSU.
Oof.
Lost to USC, almost lost to Nicholls State. Pulled away in the fourth quarter, but that is also against Nicholls, whatever they call themselves. Nicholls State, Nicholls, whatever. Terrible. Number 11, I just have Texas A&M. And it just hurt, it dropped them a little bit. Notre Dame's lost to Northern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you look even terrible.
Yeah.
So, and then that would leave number 10, Arkansas. This is the last of the one-loss team. They looked really good against Oklahoma State. They're looking a lot better than what people originally thought they were.
Yeah.
Vibes are up. Their offense is up. Bobby Petrino's up.
If they would have won, if they won against Oklahoma State, where would you have had them though?
I might have had them number 6.
So,
number 9, the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Wow.
They're undefeated. They looked good last week, looked good the week before. Vanderbilt's back. For now.
I mean, last time they were 2-0, they were just like, "Ah, man, we're about to show you some real SEC football."
Yeah.
And I think they went 3-9 that year. So,
and number 8, I have my Oklahoma Sooners. Just offensively terrible, defensively really good. If you get the offense together, you might move up in a couple weeks. All right. At number 7, I have South Carolina, Beamer Ball. They were down. They were down last week. Almost lost to Old Dominion. This last week, I guess that was 2 weeks ago. This last weekend, come out and dominate Kentucky. Looked like a really good team. Lenoy Sellers looks like a really good quarterback. Oh, what's that freshman's name? Their defensive end. Oh, he's a beast. He is sent. I don't know his name, but he looks like Jadeveon Clowney 2.0. He's like a 5-star they got last year. All right, so that was number 6. I have the Missouri Tigers. Only won by 38 against Buffalo. Your star player isn't playing like a star player. Not a good sight.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, I have Alabama. You struggled against USF. That's why you're here. I know you pulled away at the end. You made it look pretty, but not a good look for Alabama. Then at number 4, I have Ole Miss. Obviously beat up on lower competition. They play Wake Forest this week, so you have to see how they look against Wake Forest, which is also pretty low competition for them. At number 3, I have Tennessee, coming off a major beatdown of NC State and Chattanooga. Nico's looking like a really good quarterback, and their defense, led by James Pierce Jr., is looking elite. Number 2, I have Georgia. I mean, you used to beat down Clemson last week. You came out, you shut down Tennessee Tech, whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
You beat them. You beat them convincingly. You did what you had to do. You didn't let them score. And obviously, that leaves number 1. I have the Texas Longhorns. They looked really good the last 2 weeks. Their defenses look good, shutting down Michigan's offense and Colorado State's. And yeah, that is my week 2 SEC power ratings. We'll check back with them in 2 weeks. Stewie, what's your Big 12 power ranking?
All right, so I want to ask you a question.
Last place,
Who would you think last place in the Big 12 is? Who do you think I put?
I can see you put Colorado, but I think you put Texas Tech.
No, I put Cincinnati. So,
Okay.
The reason why I picked Cincinnati, right? So they're just coming off a loss to Pittsburgh, okay? But the week prior to that, they beat Towson by 18 points. That's an FCS team, by the way.
Whatever that is.
They have not really looked that good. I mean, their quarterback, he's played all right. He has 5 touchdowns, but you gotta look at the competition, dude. Like, it hasn't really been there for them, and they're coming off a loss, and they're just not. They haven't really impressed me.
No.
Number 15, I got Houston. Now, yes, they're the only team in the Big 12 who hasn't won a game, but look at the competition. They lost to UNLV, who is a Mountain West, contender. They lost to Oklahoma, an SEC team.
They shouldn't have lost. I feel
They
bad for
shouldn't have
them.
lost, but I'm gonna say like they were at least competitive against Oklahoma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should get the dub this week against Rice. You would think if they lose this week, they're gonna be 16. So
I really hope they don't lose.
14, I got Texas Tech. I was very close to putting them at the very bottom.
Oh man.
Solely on the fact that they lost to Washington State and they almost lost to Abilene Christian.
God.
Actually, no. I'm gonna put them last now. Like
They
no.
lost by 21 to a Mountain West team.
Yeah, I'm putting them last.
Oh wait, no. What's the Pacific Coast?
Yeah,
They lost to a Pacific
I'm
Coast
putting Tech
conference
last.
member.
I'm putting Tech last. They've just been bad, very bad. And no, like I said, like BT and I have been saying, another hyped up Big 12 team. Hey, BT, they're dark horses though. Remember, they're dark
I
horse
said
Big 12
TCU.
candidates. Big 12, dark horse.
That's
Shut the
TCU.
fuck up.
Buddy.
Seriously, fucking Texas Tech sucks ass. But watch them hit like a 77-yard field goal against us to win the game. PTSD. We still own you. Pat Mahomes, 66-10, last collegiate football game.
All right.
All right. Number 13, I got the Baylor Bears.
Oh.
They were very close to beating Utah this past week. Cam Rising was hurt, but they played better than the 3 teams below them. Colorado at 12. Just not appealing. You know what I mean?
They have the worst
North Dakota
head coach in the
State,
Big
who's one of
12.
the better FCS teams, got smacked by Nebraska, who is ranked. That's why I'm gonna not hold them, at a higher standard than the other teams, just because they've played better competition. So I got them at 12. 11. You got the Mormons, BT, coming off
BYU.
a big win.
Upset win. It's
big win against
BYU.
Southern
SMU.
Methodist. Good win for them.
That made
Their
Preston
quarterback
Stone
play and their
benched.
offensive play just does not look good. Retzlaff, I think he was a Jewish player. I think.
remember that.
You remember that?
He was the first Jewish. He was the first Jewish-born player to play for BYU.
Yeah.
He made his first game action against Oklahoma last year.
Yeah. He didn't really have a nice game, but just offensively they looked terrible. BYU had 5, or SMU had 5 field goals. That's some Steelers type stat line right there. So yeah, I got them at 11. But hey, they're impressing me a little bit. I thought they'd be worse. 10. I got Kansas. Like I said, a big part of this has to do with Jalen Daniels and just the preseason hype. They're not living up to the hype at all right now, and I just don't think they've been as good as some of the teams above them. Number 9, I got West Virginia. Um, they had a rough game against Penn State, who has looked. Besides that Bowling Green game was ugly, but I think they're just I think they're another team that hasn't lived up to the hype, and could ultimately not live up to the hype. They had a good game last week though against Albany, which doesn't really say much, but I think they've been better than Colorado and been better than Kansas for what I'm saying. So, um, the fuck. Okay. Um, n- Number 8, I have TCU, BT's fucking sleeper team.
My boys.
No. Jake Hoover has looked very good. I will admit that.
What I
Um,
say about him? What I say about him? Put
yeah,
respect on my name.
yeah. I would put up that stat line against Long Island too.
No, you
Yeah,
wouldn't. No,
I
you
would.
wouldn't. You don't have the back.
Shut the fuck up. And then they barely beat a Stanford team. Like, not really impressive. But hey, they're playing above what I thought they'd be, so I got them at 8. Number 7, probably the surprise of the Big 12, Arizona State,
Woo!
the
What
Sun
do they do?
Devils.
Or something like that.
BT, what do you think their quarterback's stat line was?
I don't
Buddy
know.
was 10 for 20 with 69 yards. Their running
Nice.
back, their running back had 33 carries for 262 yards.
Nice.
Yeah, but they've been playing good. So play good. You're at where you're at. UFC, I got it 6. They had another good week
You say
against
USC?
UCF.
Sorry.
Did I say USC? I probably
You
did.
did say USC.
They kind of shit on former Iowa Western Reaver Hunter Watson. KJ Jefferson really hasn't been playing like everyone thought he
I
would.
think they benched him.
Yeah, you want to know his stats for the season so far?
Not very good, I know.
333 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Not very appetizing for me, and doesn't really look good for them. Number 5, I get Arizona. Just a horrible week against Northern Arizona. Like an FCS, you're struggling with an FCS team and you're ranked. That shouldn't happen, especially with the talent you have with Noah Fifita and McKillen at receiver. So absolutely unacceptable. Number 4, my Iowa State Cyclones, baby. We're on the
No,
rise.
not number one. That's crazy.
Huh?
Not number one. That's crazy.
You gotta stay humble, okay? We're on the rise, but I know which teams are better than us or are looking better. Yeah, I got Iowa State at 4. Um, I kind of mentioned it earlier, all the stuff. So yeah, I'll just skip them, and y'all can just listen to the beginning of the podcast. Number 3, I got Kansas State. Um, Easy first game, tough second game, but it was also, like I said earlier, against one of the better non-Group 5 teams in Tulane. So I think this week, if they beat Arizona, I think they solidify themselves as a top 4 Big 12 team. So yeah. Number 2, I got Oklahoma State. Beat the FCC 2 time or back-to-back national champions in the South Dakota State University Jackrabbits represent BT represent. And then they won a good game. They came back and beat Arkansas without having Ollie Gordon, do everything for them. And I think that's impressive. Their defense really stepped up in the second half. Like I said, tackling to fucking 17 tackles. That's crazy. Then number 1, I got Utah. This might change, however, because Cam Rising did in fact get hurt. I don't know what
Have
his.
they announced how serious it is?
I'm not quite sure, but if he is not good to go, you know who's starting?
Who?
Isaac Wilson,
Hmm.
Zach Wilson's brother. So,
Oh God.
he kind of struggled, but he's also a true freshman. So, um, yeah. So it's just gonna be interesting because they barely beat Baylor, beat them by 11. And let me tell you, Baylor's quarterback is awful. So, yeah, Utah's number one, but it could very well change. So yeah.
That'll end our long college football segment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on to NFL, where we're gonna do. So every week we're gonna talk about every game that happened in the NFL, and we're gonna try to keep it under 2 minutes for each game,
Okay.
so we can talk about every single game. I'll have the list here. I'll load it up. It's in order of how ESPN puts it. Thursday night football. Chiefs
2
Ravens.
inches. That's all I'm gonna say. Mark Andrews, bum.
Of course, you know
Isaiah
what 2 inches
Likely,
look like.
the man. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, the man.
It's
Isaiah Likely.
of
Lamar
course,
Jackson looked really good. They couldn't really get Derrick Henry going.
of
Um,
course, Stewie knows what 2 inches looks like. But anyways, Xavier Worthy looked good.
I don't.
Xavier Worthy looked
Yeah,
good for his first
he looked
NFL
like a
debut.
good wide receiver too, borderline wide receiver
Maybe
one.
maybe a maybe a sneaky offensive rookie of the year pick that none of
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
The Chiefs defense looked pretty good with their losses of
Kelsey
L'Jarius
looked
Sneed.
rough, dude.
Kelsey looked washed. Looks like he's been spending his summer with Taylor
Yeah,
Swift instead of
their
practicing
run
football.
game really wasn't up to par either.
Yeah,
Um,
Pacheco kind of
mhm.
sold in fantasy.
But yeah, I think this was a good game. Two of the
Lamar
best
needs
teams.
help.
Yeah, I think receiver wise. Um,
Yes,
but I think battle of two of the best teams in the AFC, in my opinion.
and Derrick Henry also did not look very good in this
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Which I mean,
I mean, he's
part of that's
old.
the
Kind of
offensive
what kind of.
line, but the Chiefs' defensive line is really good with Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. So
All right, on to the next week, or on to the next day.
Friday night, Eagles and Packers.
Jordan
Jordan
Love
Love.
out.
Yep.
Uh,
At least I think 4 weeks.
dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
Dodged
for
a
sure,
bullet.
for sure.
They
Saquon looked amazing.
Saquon got freed.
Yeah,
Uh,
he looked really
I
good.
I predicted the Eagles in the Super Bowl last week.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith looked really, really good.
Their offense looks like they're back. They did not look like they.
Jalen Hurts kind of struggled though.
I mean, it's first game of the season,
Yeah, but
but for them to look like that with Jalen Hurts having a bad game,
mhm. The one
that
takeaway I think of this is Saquon is a game changer for you guys.
yes, we said this last year.
Mhm.
DeAndre Swift wasn't really.
No, DeAndre Swift was good.
I don't remember what happened last year with their offense. It kind of just fell apart.
Yeah, they're towards the end of the season.
I don't
But
remember what. I don't know if somebody got hurt. I think
wasn't it Jalen Hurts?
no, Hurt played. He played.
I don't know.
I
But
think it was AJ Brown
yeah.
got hurt.
But regardless,
But
like Saquon is so good, dude. So good.
Jaden Reed had a good game. I don't know if it's
Yep, I
Jaden.
had him on my bench.
A lot of people did in fantasy, so don't
Yeah,
feel bad.
yeah.
Josh Jacobs looked decent in his first game.
Yep, he's
Playing
gonna
for
get
the
a lot of
Packers.
fucking action these coming
Yes,
weeks.
now that Malik Willis is their starting quarterback, but we'll get
Mhm.
into that game later.
Yep.
I guess next, the Texans and Colts.
Ooh.
Texans are 1-0, baby. Let's go.
Hey, a win is a win. That's the definition,
Hey,
baby. T.
it was a really good game. It went down to
Anthony
the wire.
Richardson balled out.
He did. CJ Stroud
Jonathan
balled out.
Taylor,
Hey,
fucking bum.
guess who balled out? What I say, the sneakiest edition in the NFL.
Stephon.
Joe Mixon
Oh yeah, he did have a really
balled
good
out.
game. Yep.
Shout out Big Daddy Thayer. He told me to draft him in fantasy, and I didn't listen. And he had a big game in fantasy. He had 30 points.
Yeah, he was really good.
Nico Collins outplayed Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
But
Stephon Diggs was kind of a little bit of a diva.
I watched the full game. I think that was taken out of context.
Yeah, but yeah.
He got 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs did. CJ Stroud played good. Put up MVP type numbers. Didn't throw any picks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll
Xavier
get into.
Hutchinson caught a catch.
He did. He did get a catch. Houston's defense looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say got a couple sacks, forced a turnover. All right, Cardinals and Bills. Cardinals are a lot better than people think.
Yeah, but Josh Allen resilient. I think they were losing what
Josh
17.
Allen, carrier.
Yeah, I think they were losing 17-3. Going into the first or second quarter. But
Yeah,
yeah, Josh Allen just carried the team. 18 for 23, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns
this
on.
was just a battle of 2
the ground.
quarterbacks carrying their offenses.
Yeah. I don't know about that because James Conner, I mean, he
He
had
got
an
outrushed
alright
by
game.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Greg
Not a good sign.
Dortch, surprise,
Yes. Yep.
played better. And then
Dude, Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh my
one
god.
catch. Wow.
Whoa, bust. I'm just
I don't
kidding.
say that.
No, I'm just kidding.
He only got one
Um,
target, I'm pretty sure. And he was wide open on that one play. And
he
Kyler
did
didn't play.
not look. He did not look like the best rookie wide receiver in that game.
Yeah. Keon played really good.
Keon Coleman, wide receiver
Mhm.
1 for him. It looks like.
Yeah.
But I mean, Josh Allen.
Just doing Josh Allen things.
Yes. No God. Patriots Bengals.
Wow.
Um,
I don't know what to say about this game.
this happens every year, essentially.
Your boy Ramondre, the man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Joe Burrow.
I had him on the bench in fantasy.
Yeah. Joe Burrow struggled.
But I'm gonna say about this game, they do this every year. They do. We overbuy it way too much. They struggled early in the season, then they go and make a deep run in the playoffs.
Unless it was last year where they struggled to
Well, that's
begin the
because
season.
Joe Burrow tore his knee.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, Joe Burrow didn't look good. And the Patriots
I-
aren't a very good team.
Yeah. Well, maybe they might be a lot better than people think.
Ramondre played good. Their defense, Keon White had an amazing game, 2.5 sacks.
Maybe Gerard Mayo is just the next Bill Belichick.
Maybe, but shit. They did it with Jacoby Brissett, who only had 100. Ramondre Stevenson almost had more rushing yards than he did passing yards. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. On to the next one, Stu. Vikings Giants. Worst game of the day. Just two. Oh, God. Sam
Daniel
Darnold.
Jones is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Giants may be the worst team in the NFL.
Sam Darnold's back.
Sam Darnold looked good. Aaron Jones looked very, very good as well. But the Giants' defense looked really good, which is kind of understandable considering it's the fucking Giants.
Yes.
At what point do you consider benching him for Tommy DeVito, man? I think regardless, they're drafting a quarterback next year. But dude, you're paying this dude $140 million, and I told you this when they signed him, they re-signed him. BT, I was like, he's gonna be ass now. He had that one good year where he did good, and he's been shit. He has thrown more pick sixes than touchdowns since he signed that contract.
He may be bad at football, but he's good at something.
I don't know.
You know you don't know what I'm saying?
No.
Kay Adams.
Okay.
You didn't know that? You didn't know they're dating?
No.
They're dating now.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, like he's not good.
No.
I think before the season he's gonna be benched. Giants are the worst team in the league. Malik Neighbors did look good though.
Yes, he did. He might pull an Antonio Brown halfway through the game.
Shit, I would too. Fuck.
All right. Bears Titans.
Titans choked the fuck out of this game. Caleb Williams looked bad.
Maybe he should worry about practicing football more than painting his nails.
Yeah, Will Levis looked all right if you take away the fucking whatever the fuck the flip interception was.
And then he's on the ground like
Tony Pollard looked pretty good.
Yes.
Calvin Ridley looked like a number one option. But yeah, just the mistakes. They shot themselves in the foot, BT.
Yes, they did.
I think they play this game 8 times out of 10. Titans
and they
win
win
this
this. They win the game.
game.
Bears defense back.
Yeah, their defense played really good, but offensively they just fucking struggled, dude.
I really don't want to talk about this game. Let's do just a quick 30-second recap of this next one.
Okay.
Saints Panthers. Just Panthers are ass.
Panthers, like I said, one of the worst teams in the league. Saints have one of the better defenses, in my opinion.
Germany is getting their final payment for World War II when they have to watch the Panthers and Giants play.
Yeah, Kamara played good. Rashid Shaheed played really good. That's all I can really say. Alante Taylor, I think second or fourth year guy out of Tennessee had 3 sacks, and he's a corner. BT, he had 3 sacks. And he's a fucking corner.
Panthers are just terrible.
But they're bad. Blake Group, 57-yard field goal for a long and 4-4 from the kicking. So yeah,
Okay, I'm interested to
Panthers and
hear
Giants, 2 worst teams in the league.
2 of the worst offenses. The Falcons and the Steelers.
I think it's a little misinterpreted. I think
If you can't get the ball in the end zone,
So okay, I'm not. This is my
we
favorite.
we could take longer on this because we
Yeah.
skipped the.
Summarized, our defense, one of the better defenses in the league. The rest
Yes.
fucked TJ Watt out of like 3 sacks.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins is washed. Chris Boswell. All I gotta say is that's all I gotta say. The leg on that guy. 6 field goals. 3 of
We're
them
gonna
were
get
50 plus.
We're gonna get demonetized for that. Too much leg action.
Yeah. Justin Fields, I think you could tell he was a little bit scared to throw the ball. So he's scared to make. But we'll get into this.
Pickens.
Go more in depth.
Yeah, Pickens had a good game.
Yeah.
All right. God, Dolphins Jaguars.
Jack's
don't commit driving violations before a football game.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence did not look like 160.
What I think, he is a bust.
Travis Etienne did not look good. Tank Bigsby, Auburn legend, looked better. Brian Thomas looked good.
He did.
But other than that,
the Jags blew it.
Yeah.
Chargers Raiders. Jim Harbaugh's back.
Is it that or is this the Raiders? And like, you know what's crazy? Gardner wasn't even that bad.
I mean,
but hey, Ladd McConkey. I knew
gritty.
He'd be good.
He's gritty.
Yeah. Dude, J.K. Dobbins, though. Hell of a game. I had him on my bench, too.
Their fans need to chill out.
Yeah.
Body slamming women.
Did you see their fucking fullback?
Yeah. Their players need to chill. Their players need to chill out. You got to cut out with the fighting. I don't know why you're fighting. The fans, you got to stop body slamming women. God, Raiders fans.
Yeah, Kuna Ford got an interception. You know what position he plays?
What?
He's a D tackle.
Oh, I think I saw that.
But Dicker the kicker, perfect. So yeah. Devontae Adams, though, you gotta get him involved. I mean, he had 5 catches for 59 yards, but Brock Bowers, was used multiple ways. So yeah.
Broncos Seahawks. Don't buy into preseason hype. Quick phrase.
I'm just gonna say this was a very sloppy game from both sides of the ball and both teams. Not really impressed with either team. Bo Nix had an absolute rough game. He was all right on the ground though. But it's bad when your quarterback is your leading rusher. But yeah, just bad game from both sides of both teams. DK wasn't very good. Kenneth Walker had a good game, but I mean, other than that, it's just not really impressive by either team.
All right, Cowboys Browns. I have my quick phrase for this. Should have kept Baker.
Yeah, they're regretting that trade, BT.
Yeah. Hey, I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
Um, Cowboys. This wasn't even them having a good game offensively. They were horrible offensively. Their
Yeah.
defense just stepped up. And Deshaun Watson is, I think, a couple games away from being replaced, especially after some of the things that are coming out now. Um, he may well
Massage
he may be well out of
Montessor.
the league. David Njoku had a bad injury. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen to him, but I heard it was bad. So
Um, Browns aren't making the playoffs.
I could have told you that. I think I had them last in the division.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
Cowboys weren't that impressive, but they got the job done. Their defense was good.
Commanders Buccaneers. Baker
Jaden,
Mayfield MVP.
no, I will say this though, Baker, he has found his home. He looked good, and this is coming from a dude who fucking absolutely thought he was a bust and thought he was ass. Um, Mike Evans had a good game. Their defense had a
Chris
really,
Godwin
really
had a
good
good
game.
game.
I want to say this though, Jaden Daniels looked amazing.
Looked elite.
Yeah, I have him in fantasy
Elite
too.
fantasy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't start him.
fantasy.
I started Kyler. I
Um,
regret it.
but I mean, the Commanders didn't look bad. BT, they
They
didn't look
didn't.
bad.
They didn't look like the worst team in their
Except,
division.
except their kicking. Kate York, 0 for 2. Ooh.
They didn't. They didn't look like the worst team in their division.
No, they didn't.
Hmm. All right. Sunday
Speaking
night
of which,
football.
I think they play them next week. They do.
Oh God. Lions Rams.
Good game.
Gritty. A gritty game. A lot of injuries.
Unfortunately, Puka Nakua is out for at least 4 games as he's getting put on the
Kyron
IR.
Williams is hurt.
Kyron Williams didn't really play good. Cooper Cup, though, proving that he's the number 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
Um,
And well, I think the Lions showed a lot. Showed a lot of
mhm,
their grit. They didn't
mhm.
give up.
Well, I mean,
Jamison Williams, JMO.
breakout player. I think he's gonna have a really good season.
He might be
Um,
better than Amon Ra this season.
yeah, I mean, Amar only had 3 catches for 13 yards.
Sold me into
David
Missy.
Montgomery had a good game,
He did.
especially in overtime.
Yeah,
Um,
got the winning touchdown,
yep,
which I
and
think it's, in my opinion, you need to change the overtime rules to
yeah,
regular season for the
yeah,
playoffs.
I have to
That that
agree.
that would have been an elite game if both teams had a chance.
Hmm. Yeah, good game by the Lions.
All
And
right.
then the Iowa
Last
State
game.
matchup, the battle of the Cyclones.
Uh, Fucking hell.
I just
Brock
think
Purdy.
I just think the Niners defense was too much for the Jets. Although Alan Lazard, Iowa State legend, 6
Yep.
catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Brees Hall
Should
also had a
we
touchdown.
talk about Mason?
Mason.
The
Yeah, Jordan Mason.
yeah.
Amazing game.
Another undrafted rookie running back they
Hmm.
found.
Yep. Um, Haters are gonna look at this Brock Purdy stat line and be like, "Oh, look, he didn't do shit."
Should we need to have a discussion about how every quarterback did. What the fuck
Mhm.
happened in the league for quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you have to admit, like Brock Purdy has some good balls,
he did.
like good
It fucking Ayuk. Fuck that
IU.
guy.
Did you hear Peyton Manning, dude? Peyton
He
Manning was
sold
like,
me. He
yeah,
sold me. I had Ayuk anytime touchdown score.
yeah.
Needed it.
Said
Needed it.
Debo,
And he fucking dropped it.
I think a good point to this game though is Brock Purdy doesn't. I mean, yes, he's good. He's still gonna have the he needs good players, but guess who the leading receiver was?
Juwan Jennings. I have it
Yeah.
pulled up.
Mm-hmm. Guess who the third leading receiver was? Kyle
Who?
Juszczyk. And
Well,
then
I mean,
Kittle and Debo.
Kyle Juszczyk is the best fullback in the game.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like Ayuk didn't do shit really. I think Brock Purdy had a good game. Like, and then he would have had another touchdown if it wasn't for Ayuk dropping a beautiful ball. And yeah,
Don't
but
remind me.
yeah, it was like I was impressed though by the Niners. They played really good. The Jets
Jake
defense
Moody.
just yeah, the Jets defense just struggled. stopping the 49ers, I think.
Yeah, and that's you don't have Hassan Reddick, but you got to get
Mhm.
a deal done with him.
Yep.
CJ Mosley got hurt.
Yep. But like their offense didn't look horrible. You know what I mean?
They didn't. I don't know what's up with the quarterback play this week. It was
Yeah, it's
just
kind of
terrible
weird.
all
But like,
around.
would you say
Besides
Brock
Baker,
Purdy had a horrible game? I'd say he had
no,
like a decent game. You know what I mean?
he handled. He had one of the best quarterback performances
Yeah.
of the week.
Yeah.
All right, that finally brings us to our game previews. First game, we're gonna go Thursday night football. You got the Bills and the Dolphins. Once again, another good Thursday night football matchup.
Yep.
Oh man, I really
This game is it's gonna be a very good game.
it
You look
is.
historically over the past couple seasons, the Bills have owned the Dolphins.
Yes, but this is in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Miami Heat, the humidity could play a big factor into this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think Tyreek Hill's gonna have a big game. He's gonna get a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Dolphins are, favored in this position just solely on the fact that the Bills look beat up. They really don't have as good of a team as they've had the past couple years.
Yeah, and the Dolphins sort of looked a little bit better than them.
Yeah, and then like the thing with the Bills, like I don't think they know who they are. They had to rely on Josh Allen to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
James
and
Cook
that's
really
not
couldn't get
sustainable.
going.
That's how you get your star quarterback hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, I mean,
He did get hurt.
yeah, well, his hand, but he's all right. He said he'll be perfectly fine.
Oh,
But I mean, out of all the quarterbacks, to take hits and stuff, I mean, Josh Allen, I think he's a more athletic Big Ben. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
size wise. Um, but yeah, I personally, I'm gonna have the Bills winning this game just because
Oh, well,
I feel
I think
Josh
it's a
Allen.
toss up to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll say Dolphins win because they're at
yeah,
home.
yeah. I think it's gonna be a good game though. So
All right, on to the next one. It's gonna be this game looked a lot better on paper when we first wrote the schedule. Another one situation we had here. Colts Packers.
I think it'll still be a good game.
It'll still be a good game.
It's gonna
Like
be
to see
interesting
how
to see how Malik Willis plays. I think
yes.
Josh Jacobs will have a shit ton of carries.
Yeah.
Um,
And I want to see how the Colts bounce back after that close loss.
yeah, and how Anthony Richardson plays.
Yes, this is in Lambeau. Hard place to play.
Mhm,
Colts are favored by 3, though. It's going to be up to the Packers defense. You got to stop. You got to
mhm,
stop Pierce, and you got to stop Richardson.
yep.
Pierce got a couple lucky deep balls in the Houston Texans
Mhm.
game, I will say.
But don't
But
forget, I mean, you still got Josh Downs and Michael Pittman Jr. on the Colts.
yes, Michael
Plus,
Pittman.
Jonathan Taylor wasn't really up to par.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the Colts offense look. Packers defense,
Mhm,
you have to show up. Unlike
mhm,
you didn't really show up in
yep,
Brazil,
yeah,
show up in Lambeau.
yeah. I personally have the
Because
Colts winning this though.
if you struggle, this can eliminate you from the playoffs in the division you're in.
Yeah,
If
well,
you
like,
struggle
and
without Jordan Love.
I was talking to my friend Lane, who's a Packers fan. Shout out Lane. He said that like these next couple games we have to win them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You play the
They
Colts, you play the Vikings, you play I think
Titans and the
Titans. Like
Rams.
you gotta win those
What
games.
they
Like
said he's out 4 to 6 weeks, right?
yeah, yeah.
So assume you're out 6 weeks at max. You're gonna miss the Colts, Titans, Vikings, Rams,
Mhm.
Cardinals, and Texans.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like you say, the Titans and what
No,
other team?
the Vikings. I mean,
The Vikings looked good.
they
The
did.
Titans looked, capable of at least doing something. Like these are not like, for surefire
Yeah,
wins.
yeah. So the Packers need to at least win a couple of these. You can't.
Hmm.
You can quickly be eliminated from the playoffs,
Yeah, for sure.
or needing a miracle, kind of like what happened last year.
Hmm.
All right, another game that looked a lot. These next 2 games that were picked or just looked a lot better than what they originally did. 3:25 on CBS. Chiefs and the Bengals
I mean,
looked a lot better.
I could think this. I mean, it's just a rivalry game, so it's gonna
It
be.
is.
T
This is in
Higgins, I think, is
Arrowhead.
out or is getting to the point
Let's
where
see
he's
what
not
they say.
playing.
Yes, Hollywood Brown is questionable. No Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. Amarius Mims, Chris Jenkins, and T. Higgins are all questionable.
Mm-hmm.
So, not looking good for the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rivalry. Anything can happen.
I personally think the Chiefs are going to win just because
Yeah.
the Bengals don't know what they are right now.
Yeah.
And if they struggle against the Patriots and lost to the Patriots, I think the Chiefs will shit on them.
Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Bengals turn around and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, this is a rivalry game, so.
Yes. All right. Another game that looked a lot better last week. The Browns and the Jaguars.
Yeah. I think this is the game of mid. You know what I mean? Like
the
these
game
teams.
of quarterbacks trying to keep their job.
Yeah. I mean, I think Lawrence has solidified himself
That's
not
fine.
as a
That's
franchise
fair.
quarterback, but he's safe enough. Dude, the Browns just lackluster. You know what I mean? I think the Jags. I think I'm gonna go with the Jags this game just
Yeah.
because they don't have the shit going around them like
Yeah.
Deshaun and the Browns do.
Deshaun Watson's not even getting helped up by his line. If you looked
Yeah,
at the
Joe
videos.
Batonio, who is a vet, who has
Yes.
been with the Browns for what I think since Baker got there.
Yep.
So, very interesting. And their defense really didn't look too promising either. So yeah, I got the Jags.
I agree with you there. All right, on to our favorite teams. Steelers play before mine. You play the Denver Broncos in Denver.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't have rookie quarterback magic like last time we played a rookie quarterback in Denver.
Yeah. Sensitive subject. So at this point, Fields is expected to start. They're gonna see how Russell does this week, but I think Fields is gonna start, which kind of scares me. Because I want him to be successful, and I think by him, you know, having the notch over Russell Wilson, he's gonna feel pressure. You know what I mean? And I think that's why, it's like last game, he didn't really throw the ball like I think he's capable of because he's afraid of making those turnovers. And doing that, you lose big plays. So I wouldn't be surprised if we lost this game. This is just a Steelers game. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
lose.
Lose to a rookie quarterback,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I'm gonna stay humble, but if our defense can play like they did last week,
oh yeah, you should have no doubt cramping up Bo Nix.
yeah, and especially the run game.
Yeah,
So it's just all in our offense. So yeah,
your 3-point favorites. Think cover.
fuck if I know, dude.
That's 3 points aren't that hard.
I know,
Technically.
but it's just the Steelers. Just they suck. They are horrible when it comes to
All right,
playing rookie quarterbacks and stuff like that.
on to my Texans. We play on Sunday Night Football. Finally play on national TV. It'll be nice to watch us. We play Caleb Williams and the Bears in Houston. I think our defense is going to clamp up. I mean, look, they didn't. The Colts got a few lucky passes in where they just if you were watching the game, Anthony Richardson just chucked it down the field, and somehow Alec Pierce caught it, and whatever. I don't think the Bears have the receivers that could do that, but I didn't really see a lot
After
in them.
seeing the Titans game, this doesn't look being very. I mean, Caleb Williams is gonna have a better game. Like he's bound to have a better
Yes,
game.
but our
But
defensive line got a lot of pressure on the Colts
yeah,
O
well,
line, which
plus
is
like their
better.
run game couldn't do nothing
Yes, and the
against the
Colts.
Titans.
Yes, the Colts O line
Hmm.
is a lot better than the Bears. We
Mhm.
could both agree on that. And our
Yeah.
defensive line got pressure on Anthony
Mhm.
Richardson, constantly forced him, which is not a
Mhm.
good sign for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
No matter how good he is,
Mhm.
and defensively, I think we're a lot better than the Titans are,
Yeah.
and I think we're going to be able to put up
Mhm.
points.
You match up very well with them, I'd say.
Yes, and I think that's going to lead us to a victory, and I think we're going to cover the 7. But it also wouldn't surprise me if we lost this game because
I don't think so. I think you guys got this game. I think
yeah,
you
I
guys
think we do
easily won
too.
by
I'm
like
pretty
14. I think you easily won
yeah.
by 14.
Yeah, I think we win, and then we look. Hopefully, I mean, we don't really have. This is our next 2 weeks after this. We play the Vikings and we play the Jaguars.
Two
I
sneaky
mean,
teams, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, and then we play the Bills,
yeah.
which is in
Jesus
2
guys,
weeks.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, we do play on Halloween this year. We play on a Halloween Thursday night. That's a good game too. Texans and the Jets in MetLife.
Jets, Jets.
All right. Well, Stu, that's the end of that. So, Stu, it's your favorite thing of the week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So y'all know what it is. This is our oldest segment of our podcast history. It's what everyone looks forward to. BT, it is the locks of the week.
Yeah. Shout out
And,
Peter Nestor. Fuck the Jets.
yeah, Peter, what a guy. Peter. Um,
Fuck. What's that?
Peter's my boy, dude. He's a Niners fan.
Peter. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he became a fan last year.
No,
Okay, good.
buddy has more. Buddy has a 49er shirt for like every day of the week for like 3 weeks.
What the hell?
Yeah, he's a
If I could afford that, I would honestly.
yeah. Buddy's a diehard though. We'll
Yeah.
admit that.
All right. All right.
But
As long
last
as he
week,
wasn't. Well, last
what were
week,
you gonna
Stu, you
say?
won. As long
Yeah,
as he wasn't a bandwagon.
yeah. He's not bad man. Yeah. Last week I took home the dub at 5 points. BT got 4.5, but I'm still losing, as you can see on the lock of the week standings.
So that's the one thing that won't change. If you win the week, you still get the first priority of
Yep,
picks.
yep. It was a good week. I had lots of upsets, and the upsets hit. So,
Yes, they paid off.
mm-hmm. All right. So I'll start off. My first college football lock of the week. I got UNLV, who is a 7-point underdog over Kansas.
It's going for 2 points.
We've talked about it.
I would have taken it if you didn't. I
Yeah,
would have.
yeah. So that's one of the games I feel really confident about. Another big upset, BT. I got Memphis Tigers, who are 7.5-point underdog over Florida State.
Oh, so he was trying to go for the jugular.
Yeah. Like I said, Memphis is a good team. Seth Hennigan, one of the better quarterbacks in the what are
American?
they in?
American Athletic?
American Athletic. Yeah, one of the better quarterbacks in the American Athletic. He sauced us up last year, and Florida State's been struggling, so wouldn't be surprised if they lost. Plus, I think it's a good game, And then my third college football lock of the week is kind of a guaranteed win. I got the South Dakota State Jackrabbits represent over Augustana, which I would not be surprised if we put up 60 on them. So, yeah. What about you, BT?
For my college? All right. I have Miami over Ball State. Minus 36.5. I got to get some points. Then I have Texas minus 34.5 against Texas San Antonio. And then my upset. It was an upset as of locking this in. Yeah, since changed, but I locked it in before it changed. I have UCF plus 1.5 over TCU.
Huh. That's scary. It's a good gamble, but KJ Jefferson, dude.
He's not playing. They benched him.
No way.
Yeah, I think it's a different quarterback.
I don't think so, because the quarterback for the UCF only had one other throw.
They benched him this week.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. So, yeah, UCF's favored by 2, but yeah. What's your NFL? What is your National Football League?
All right. He said fuck the Jets, but I'm going to go with the Jets minus 4 against the Titans. I think the Jets are better than the Titans. It showed. Defensively, I think they're going to have an improvement. And then
Shit, Peter.
I have the Chargers minus 6 over the Panthers. We said before, Panthers are terrible. It's always a good bet to bet against the Panthers.
Yep.
And then I have the Eagles, who's minus 6.5 over the Falcons. And that's my locks of the week.
Yeah. All right. So my NFL locks of the week. My first one, the Thursday night football game we talked about. The Bills are 1.5-point underdogs. I have them over the Dolphins. I think it'll be a good game. Out of all the games I picked, this is like the least confident one, I think. But there's another one that scares me. My other one, I got the Ravens or a 9.5-point favorite over the Raiders.
Terrible.
Yeah, you gotta get one guaranteed win, right, BT?
Yeah.
But there's nothing guaranteed in life other than death and taxes. But
And the Panthers losing.
yeah, facts.
I think every time we picked them in locks of the week, they lost.
Yeah. See, I got the Ravens with the Raiders, and then my third lock of the week, I get the Rams, who are a point underdogs over the Cardinals. Niners Vikings, yeah. I got the Niners beating the Vikings too.
Yes, yes, I
Um,
just don't want. I'm not willing to bet it because
yeah, I think last year,
the 49ers last year
last
lost to
year
the
I picked
Vikings.
the 49ers to have a guaranteed win, and then we ended up they ended up
Yeah,
losing.
and I
So
think it was against the Vikings too.
yeah, it was. I remember watching the game. But yeah, I got the Rams over the Cardinals. Like I said, Cooper Cup, one of the better receivers in the league. They're gonna miss Puka Nakua, but yeah, I like the Rams defense over the Cardinals.
Well, that'll end episode 3.
Episode 3 of season 2.
Okay, Stu, come
Gosh,
on.
you can't. People are gonna think.
Stuvie's gotta be politically correct here.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Peter was at the game.
Yeah,
Poor
he's
Peter.
going to that game next week, though.
Oh God, I
Peter,
would sell those tickets, but it's a bad omen.
Peter, maybe it was a bad omen or something.
I don't know. If it happens again, never show up to a 49ers game again. That's what I would do.
Or against the Vikings.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, that's been
I wish I was in town when the Texans played in Lambeau because I might have went to Lambeau, but I'm not gonna be in town. We're in Florida.
the sunny state.
Yeah, I'll have to do a podcast in Florida.
Oh
I have to
boy.
do it outside. You can see the beach out front.
Wow. You know, I could do something special like that. I could be like, yeah, I could have a nice little view of the prairie grass in South Dakota.
I mean, I could do it. I could show y'all I-80 outside of my apartment right now.
Wow.
That's such a good view. Anyways, guys, that'll end season 2, episode 3. We will be back next week around the same time. This is debate day special, and we're a couple weeks away from election special of Sports Talk with BT and Stubby. We're not doing all.
Might be streaming from Canada. You never know.
Never know. All righty. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all the things YouTubers say. We will see you all next week with another podcast.